But the main thing that I want to talk about was, and I mentioned it last week that I started watching it, but we finished it this week. Our flag means death.
Yes.
Which is, for those of you who don't know, it is a pirate comedy, period romantic comedy thing set in the golden age of piracy, the early 18th century. It stars Rhys Darby as, and I didn't know, real person, Stede Bonnet, and Taika Waititi as Captain Blackbeard. So the general run of it is Stede Bonnet, who I've literally just found out was a real person, is known as the Gentleman Pirate. He is a rich Barbadian landowner who gets bored with his boring high society life, has a ship built called the Revenge, and he fucks off to sea as a pirate captain. But he doesn't know anything about being a pirate captain because he's a fop and a dandy. And he has a crew who are loyal to him, in so much that, they don't go raiding things, but he pays them a living wage. And he allows them to express themselves instead of fighting. And they eventually kind of accidentally happen upon the English, who try to kill them. And then Blackbeard gets involved. I kind of don't want to spoil things because there's a lot of really good reveals and really good moments in it, but it is very, very... It's very funny, but very heartwarming as well, because it isn't just a straight comedy. It's not just like gag after gag after gag after gag. There is a lot of funny shit in it, but it is kind of dramatic in places and kind of heartrending. And Rhys Darby as Stede Bonnet is fucking brilliant because he's bringing that kind of foppish charm that Rhys Darby brings to everything.
Yeah,
we'll always remember him in What You Do in the Shadows, going, "We're not werewolves, we're not swearwolves, we're werewolves." And it's exactly that same tone that he brings as Stede Bonnet. The first time he witnesses someone getting killed, he absolutely freaks out. First time someone shoots at them, he freaks out. He's freaking out constantly throughout the whole thing. But him and Taika Waititi obviously have acted together and have performed together. The two of them together in this are wonderful. They have such a wonderful connection. The kind of the wider cast of other pirates are absolutely balmy. Ewan Bremner as Buttons, the mad helmsman who speaks to seagulls, is utterly fucking hilarious because he stands there. He's got this thick Scottish accent. He's kind of always looking down his nose, looking scared, and he just says the most fucking mental shit. He's like, "Which direction are we going?" He'll stick his tongue out, "West." He like tastes the air and knows which direction they're going. I don't want to talk too much about it because I kind of don't want to spoil it, but it is absolutely wonderful, and it's got such a it's just got a wild supporting cast. So like Leslie Joneson, Fred Armisen, Kristen Schaal, Nick Kroll, Will Arnett turns up. Like there are some really fucking big names in this.
It's got Hodor in.
Yeah, Hodor is one of the main.
Christian Nan.
Yeah, Kristen Nan as wee John Feeney, who was obsessed with fire. He wanted to burn everything.
Yeah. Oh, of course, the big guy is called Wee. As well. Yeah. He's wee John Feeney because he's massive.
Standard.
There's a great gag quite early on, like when Blackbeard first comes aboard the ship, and if you imagine what a galleon looks like. So the sets are kind of outsized, like Stede Bonnet's chambers are enormous. They wouldn't actually fit in that ship. But like Blackbeard's walking around and like looking around, and he's like, "You've got a full library in here," and it's like, "Oh yeah, well, I'll lend the boys the books. Not all of them can read, but they like to look at the pictures." And so, and he says, is that a real fireplace?" "That it is. You've got a real fireplace that burns coal and wood on a boat that's in the water. A bit dangerous, don't you think? But it looks nice." And it's like that level of humor. The entire series, the entire run of 10 episodes is on BBC iPlayer at the minute. They're about 25 to 35 minutes each. There's a couple of mascara warnings in there. There's a couple of quite sad moments, but it is, by and large, I think one of the best things that HBO Max has made. I think it is absolutely wonderful. And they should be winning awards all over. The production is wonderful. The acting is wonderful. Costume design is brilliant. Music's fantastic. But Rhys Darby needs recognition because he's now a leading man after this. Rhys Darby's always been kind of like a side character or a background actor, or he's always been in one of his mates' things. And this is like his thing now. He gets to be front and center on this one because it's like you've got the cast and with Taika Waititi. He's the background character this time. Rhys Darby's so good in it.
Yeah, it's definitely on our list to watch. So we want to get through the latest What We Do in the Shadows first, and then watch this as well.
Yeah, it was quite well timed that the both of them came onto the iPlayer at the same time. Yeah, it's very very good, and it's not what you would expect out of a lot of the characters as well. It's quite forward thinking. It's a very 2022 show in the best possible way.
Yeah.
And you've got last one, the cast. You've got Con O'Neill in as Izzy Hands, and Con O'Neill's great because he's got that voice that sounds like he's been shot through the throat, but he's menacing. He's like he's Blackbeard's right hand man, and doesn't like that that Steed is kind of softening Blackbeard a bit. And he's always walking around with his jaws clenched. He's wearing his leather outfit because all of Blackbeard's crew wears leather. Because that's the thing.
Naturally.
He's just walking around croaking at people. So yeah. Seriously, watch Our Flag Means Death. It's one season so far. Second season wrapped filming in December and is out this year. This is a show that I think this can have like 3 or 4 excellent seasons and then be done with it.
Yeah, sounds like it.